You're watching South Asia Newsline and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Wednesday, the 3rd of September. Germany pledges full push on EU-India FTA, says India a rising powerhouse. Over 20 killed in two separate explosions in Pakistan. And Afghanistan struck by another earthquake, hundreds killed. And now for all the details. India's Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar told his German counterpart Johann Wadefull on Wednesday that New Delhi is counting on Germany's support to deepen its relationship with the European Union and expedite their talks on a free trade agreement. The German Foreign Minister, who is on a two-day visit to India, expressed full support in response. Trade negotiations between India and the EU have faced hurdles over the EU's push to cut import taxes on cars and dairy while seeking stricter climate and labour rules on Indian goods. India wants to protect local farmers, avoid rigid green rules and keep control over legal disputes. India trades $190 billion in goods annually with the EU. The two have previously agreed to a year-end deadline for their free trade pact.
We count on your support to deepen our relationship with the European Union and expedite the FTA negotiations. India and Germany have a strong history of multilateral cooperation, which I'm confident will be further advanced through our talks today.
And economically, you already mentioned the FTA. Germany is a full supporter of getting this agreement negotiated as soon as even possible. We are a free trade nation.
Later, during a joint press conference, the German Foreign Minister reiterated full push on EU-India FTA and said India is a rising powerhouse and holds special importance in the world. This comes as New Delhi is also grappling with steep tariffs imposed by the US, including a punitive 25% tariff imposed for India's purchase of Russian oil. India has sharply criticized both the US and the EU, saying it is being unfairly signaled out by them while they both trade extensively with Moscow despite the war in Ukraine. India's Ministry of Home Affairs has introduced exemptions under the Immigration and Foreigners Act 2025, effective 1st of September, allowing religious minorities, Hindus, Sikhs, Buddhists, Jains, Parsis, Christians from Afghanistan, Bangladesh and Pakistan who fled persecution and entered India by December 31, 2024 to stay without passports or visas. The Act consolidates 4 prior laws enhancing immigration regulation. Citizens of Nepal and Bhutan can now enter India by land or air without passports or visas, using citizenship certificates or voter IDs, instead fostering tourism, education and business ties. Minors will have separate document provisions for hassle-free family travel. Tibetans registered in India will also receive special considerations. Meanwhile, the Act imposes stricter penalties for document fraud, minimum 2-year imprisonment and ₹1 lakh fine and maximum up to 7 years and 10 lakh rupees fine, and mandates hospitality businesses, universities and carriers to register foreign guests for better compliance. The government aims to balance compassion with security, ensuring robust oversight and clear guidelines for identifying, registering or deporting violators, strengthening regional ties and national security. And at least 11 people were killed at a public rally in Quetta city of Pakistan's Balochistan province. Police investigating the blast suspected to be a suicide bombing. According to government officials, the rally was held to commemorate the death anniversary of a nationalist leader and former provincial chief minister, Sardar Ataullah Mengal. No group has claimed the responsibility for the blast yet. Both Islamist militants and Baloch separatist insurgents operate in Quetta city. Quetta is the capital of Balochistan, which borders Afghanistan and Iran.
हमारे जलसा इख्तिताम पजीर हुआ उस वक्त जो मेहमान आए थे दूसरी पार्टियों के उनको हमने रुखसत किया वो निकल गए और सरदार साहब भी उसके साथ निकल गए तो ये सारे बाकी लोग निकल रहे थे तो गेट से मेन जो गेट है इससे थोड़े फासले पे ये धमाका हुआ.
Meanwhile, in another incident, a major suicide bombing attack also took place on a paramilitary force base in Pakistan's Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, killing at least 6 security personnel, while 6 militants were also killed. Officials said the suicide bomber rammed his explosive-loaded car into the boundary wall of the base, causing the explosion. 16 security personnel and 3 civilians were also wounded. The regional police blamed the attack on Islamist militants without naming any group. So far, no group has claimed the responsibility.
काफ़ी sophisticated weapons उनके पास स्नाइपर्स थे, रॉकेट लॉन्चर्स थे और VBID के साथ आए थे तो बाकायदा प्लानिंग के साथ आए थे और जितनी प्लानिंग वो करके आए थे उसमें उनको नाकामी हुई है. जितना हमारा नुकसान इतना नहीं हुआ जितना उनका नुकसान हुआ है. 6 ये आए थे और 6 के 6 वो हलाक हो गए.
And Afghanistan was rocked by yet another powerful earthquake on Tuesday, leaving hundreds more dead and entire villages flattened in Kunar province. With thousands already killed and survivors pleading for aid, the disaster has pushed the war-torn nation into an even deeper humanitarian crisis. A report.
After nearly 2 days, another earthquake of magnitude 5.5 struck Afghanistan on Tuesday, claiming hundreds of more lives. Homes that had been partially damaged in the earlier tremor were reduced to rubble by the fresh quake. The United Nations has warned that the death toll could rise further as many victims remain trapped beneath the debris. Officials reported that 3 villages in Kunar province were flattened, leaving more than 600 people dead. The Defense Ministry said 40 flights had evacuated 420 victims, as rescue teams moved from severely affected villages to remote hamlets. Survivors now live in fear of further destruction from aftershocks as they plead for shelter and aid.
دا بقایا بچی چیز ما کمی دازوس کم زاکین من انگور میده هر کم زاکی کینم ناقد الناس زاکی نشته وز دا زلزله چوش له بدی زلزله کی زما یو دغه دا خزاده ایومی زیده یومی لورده دا دوار دا دری واره دالتا شهیدان شد.
Sunday's quake, one of Afghanistan's worst in recent years, with a magnitude of 6, had already killed some 1,400 people, injured more than 3,100, and destroyed more than 5,400 houses. Many homes in remote villages were reduced to ruins, and the mountainous terrain continues to hinder relief operations. Survivors mourned the loss of their relatives and homes after the powerful tremors devastated Kunar province.
د شپې تقریبا 12 بجې غالبا دې ټیم کې کوم د زلزلہ شوې ده دومره یو دغه شوې ده چې هیڅ چاته به د پته نه لګېدل چې داسې جړکې نه وي یو جړکه شوې ده کورونه ټول نسکور شوي دي مالونه پکې ټول ډوب دي بچیان هم پکې په شهادت باندې رسېدل دي درې زما په شهادت ورسېدل موږ ټوټل 12 فامیل دغه 12 کسان زموږ شهیدان شوي دي داسې زلزله نه وه شوې د دې نه دا 2 کاله مخکې یوه زلزله شوې وه کورونه ولیدلي خو شهیدان نه و شوي لکه چند کورونه ولیدلي وو دا داسې زلزله شوې ده چې دا په تاریخ کې موږ نه ده لیدلې.
The disaster has further strained the chaos-hit Afghanistan's Taliban administration, already struggling with dwindling foreign aid. A volunteer informed that people are desperate for help, in urgent need of medicine, food, and shelter.
Bangladesh former Inspector General of Police Chowdhury Abdullah Al Mamun, charged with crimes against humanity, has blamed former PM Sheikh Hasina and Home Minister Asad Uzzaman Khan Kamal for ordering the massacre during last year's July mass uprising. In an emotional testimony before Bangladesh International Crimes Tribunal, the former IGP issued a formal apology to the victims, their family and to the nation. While addressing the tribunal, Mamun, appearing as state witness, begged for mercy. Hasina is being tried in the absentia as she fled Bangladesh in August last year. The July uprising, initially sparked by student protest against a controversial quota system for government jobs, escalated into a nationwide anti-government movement, resulting in over 1,000 deaths due to violent crackdowns by security forces. The unrest, marked by allegations of extrajudicial killings and mass arrest, led to Hasina's ouster and the formation of an interim government under Muhammad Yunus. Exiled Tibetans celebrated the 65th Tibetan Democracy Day on Tuesday in India's Dharamshala to commemorate the establishment of the democratic system by spiritual leader, the Dalai Lama. The Dalai Lama in 1960 established a government in exile which has been functioning in India since the Dalai Lama and other Tibetans fled to India after a failed uprising against the Chinese occupation of their homeland. Since then, the Tibetans started to hold elections by choosing their members of parliament in exile, including the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. Penpa Sering, the incumbent president of the Tibetan government in exile, hailed the Dalai Lama's commitment to democratic principles and warned that any interference from China in choosing their next spiritual leader will not be accepted.
We are giving out a strong message to China that whatever strategy, whatever kind of pull and pressure and influence that you are putting on us, our spirits will remain true as a Tibetan identity will never be wiped out. And we will remain a vibrant, free and a democratic establishment here, and we hope to have a future Tibet that's also democratic and free and inclusive and diverse.
That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.